The state secretariat of the Rajasthan is a each state has a secretariat. Its sound, which is the highest echelon state administration, locus of exercising state government. The expression of secretariat is used to refer to complex departments and political head or minister, while the administrative head are secretariat to government. So the entire administrative machinery of the state divided into several departments, and the secretariat is the conglomeration of the old department. So it is the conglomeration of all departments. The Secretariat is different from executive department. The latter is the executive organization government and has its top functionary. Generally head of the departments होते हैं. The agriculture department में secretariat, for instance, headed by the secretary of the agriculture, but the director of the agriculture is the head of the department. Okay, and the latter subordinate to former. Not all secretariat have executive department attached to them are engaged to the advisory and controlling capacity. Department of Finance, that was personal planning, administration reform, come under the category. That was the advisory actually and controlling capacity. The ministers are in charge of this department are answerable to the legislature, and below the minister posted in each department several career civil servant who carry out the order of their political bosses, advise them and help them by providing necessary information for facing the legislation committee. The secretariat divided into a number of the department. The exact number of department varies from state to state, but there are few departments which are common to all state, like general administration, personal, home, finance, agriculture, public work, industry, irrigation, education, and transport revenue. The basic pattern of organization is the departments is broadly similar. Secretariat is a official head assisted by the more additional joint or deputy secretariat depending upon the size and nomenclature of this officer differ from state to state. Rajasthan hierarchy comprises like the secretariat, special secretariat as a IAS officer. Further, a number of deputy and assistant secretariat is also there. Most of secretariat to the government are IAS officer. Only a few belong to the specialist services. For instance, Rajasthan, the PWD Secretariat is engineer. For a few years, Secretariat Irrigation was an engineer. Each department divided into the number of the section, which is the section officers are also there. So, functions of Secretariat with the proximity of the seats and powers. The Secretariat helped the ministry in the individual collective capacity formulating the policies, serve as a think tank of or the brain trust of the state government. Since the policy is based on this, the secretariat is a sort the data bank. So they are as a data bank collecting information, analyzing the information, main coordinating agency of the state administration, planning, finance, personal, general administration department under him, give direction and guidance to the directorate for the field of implementing the policy, lay down the rules and regulations and guidance, and advise करना help करना government को. And it also undertaken quasi legislative work. They work as a quasi legislative work, have the minister drafting the framing rules and regulations and procedures. It approve the service rules for the amendment. It receive complaints and appeals of people, solve them, appoint head of the department, look into the establishment work like the salary administration. It assists करते ministers discharging their responsibilities and answering the questions in legislature. So, what kind of secretariat reform we taken in the Rajasthan? First major reform review was working of Rajasthan government undertaken G. Swaminathan. G. Swaminathan, Ministry of the State of India. In October of 1951, he made a number of recommendations regarding norms and methods and strength. Majority of implemented. Later in November 1954, a committee was set up, chairmanship of the S.D. Ujwal. So Ujwal was there. First was the G. Swaminathan. Sorry, what the name? It was exactly Swaminathan. G. Swaminathan. After then there was a S.D. Ujwal. So S.D. Ujwal. So then secretary to the government home department to examine the mechanical secretariat work, delegation of power, method, disposal, and make recommendations, concrete improvement of secretariat. As a result of this, secretariat department were reconstituted in the field. 1955 organization method of the sections was established to serve as a nucleus of review the administrative system. In 1960, cell system was introduced, and this was not entirely innovation, but it had been experimented with the center of several names such as officer oriented system. It is officer oriented system, अटैची सिस्टम, डेस्क ऑफिस सिस्टम भी कह सकते हैं. So this desk office system was aimed to primarily at the cutting short delays, increasing delegations and responsibility to cell officer. The system failed to develop root of several reasons, such as which are that the cell does not have a benefit of personal memory. New officer it difficult to deal with the old cases. Tenure system transfer to the administrative officer take place and case of elimination of office. So now there was 1962 Administrative Reform Commission was set up. It was also made the suggestion regarding the working of Secretariat. So in 1962 Administrative Reform Commission came, and the Rajasthan Secretariat Reorganization Committee, that was in 1969, and chairmanship of Mohan Mukherjee. He was the Mohan Mukherjee into the details of the sale system and pointed out the merits demerits of sale. 1981 इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की जो राजस्थान की जो ब्रांच है इन जयपुर ऑर्गेनाइज सेमिनार फॉर द रिफॉर्म्स इन राजस्थान secretariat reforms, and time schedule for the disposal of the paper at different level, and the level of examination decision making to ensure the quick disposal, continuous system of the training for the whole level of the functionaries are so new method to work for the imbibe. So this all about the Rajasthan secretariat system. You can see properly here.